Everybody doing okay? Everybody doing okay?
Yeah, man.
Let me hear some energy. I know it was a long trek here with the traffic, the snow, and I'm just grateful you're all here tonight, Linda, you want to get something? The camera can film Linda getting seconds. She's getting seconds. So, I'm sitting here, as always, I come to these events like, okay, what am I going to talk about tonight? Usually it's either personal growth or it's like a business fundamental piece, right? So that said, I'm sitting here, I had two plans. I had an A plan and a B plan here tonight. And I'm thinking, all right, what energy am I going to feel tonight with people walking in, And so many people had so much time or such a struggle with the traffic, dealing with the headache of the snow. I was like, maybe it's a night of gratitude, right? Maybe we'll talk about gratitude night, because I had another plan with that I was going to talk about setting goals. It's January. I was going to draw some diagrams. But I'm feeling more of a gratitude piece here. What do you guys think? Sure. Would you rather hear gratitude? And I got some stories behind it. So once Linda gets to her seat, we'll
have all night, Linda.
So real quick, while we're waiting on Linda, we've been doing these things for about 8 years now. I think it's 8 going on 9. I got to look back. And the first year I was doing it, I was just funding it myself. I was told to do it. My coaching, I joined Buffini coaching, and they said, Rob, do these events, right? And I remember Mark Gaylor, I met him, and he says, he comes up to me after one of the events. He goes, Rob, who pays for these things? I said, I do. And he gave me the idea of once you get somebody to sponsor him, he goes, I'll help pay for this. So Mark's been a sponsor for a lot of them over the years. So Mark was with the Casa title. So thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. And then our other sponsor tonight, we got 2 of them tonight, is Direct Mortgage Loans with Tasha Litton and Jeff. And the other Jen was here. She left there earlier. So, if you guys want to just say something real quick about yourself, it's fine. We know what you do. Go ahead.
You always do a better job introducing me than I do myself. Mark Gaylor with Mi Casa Title Group. Obviously, we do real estate closings. We've been working with Rob for a long time. Come a long way, and we're licensed in all 50 states. So, any closings in Maryland or all over the United States.
Good. And then Jeff or Tasha, either one of you?
Well, this is actually kind of cool because I've emailed back and forth with you a bunch of times. I don't think I've ever actually met you, so I kind of like this is a cool way to meet you. But we're Direct Mortgage Loans. We're a local lender in Hunt Valley. We're also the in-house lender in a bunch of Keller Williams offices, including Gateway right down the street here. Process underwriting, everything in-house, and we lend on everything we do. So any way we can help,
And before tonight's show, we'll go around. Everybody can introduce themselves and talk about what they do. But I wanted to say thanks to you guys. So we'll start gratitude right there. So, Dan, you remember this book. We talked about the magic a couple years ago, right? Does anybody remember me talking about that book in the past? Rick, you were there. Yeah. Steve, were you there? So there's this book I picked up 2 years ago. It's called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And it's a 28-day course, basically. So every day you get up, you read 3 or 4 pages, and it gives you an assignment to do. Now, the first day, the only thing you have to do is you have to write 10 things you're thankful for, okay? So the objective is, by the end of 28 days, you got 280 different things or people or situations that you're grateful for, right? In addition to the other assignments they give you along the way. So there's 3 things that have come up over the last couple weeks, and I don't know if I got time to go through all 3 of them, that are really... something's going on. You just know something's going on. So the first thing I'm going to tell you about is 2 years ago when I read through this month of the book, one of the assignments is, you get up, you do your 10 pieces of gratitude you write down, and every time you write them down, when you're finished, you read back over and you say thank you, thank you, thank you. And the first time I did it, it was more or less just get through it. Let's just get through it and just do it. And what I've learned in this time, the more you feel it in your heart, the more things happen for you. So when you feel gratitude in your heart, things just start to happen, right? So 2 years ago when I did, one of the assignments was, hey, after doing writing down my 10 pieces of gratitude, was be thankful for the great news you're going to get today, right? So I say, right, get ready to leave for the morning, like I'm thankful for the great news I'm going to get today, right? Don't know what it is, but I'm just thankful for the great news that's coming my way. So 2 years ago, the day had gone through, and I'm like, okay, nothing great happened. Nothing's happened here. Nothing's happened here. And then I got a call like at 9 o'clock at night. It was a manager from Wells Fargo, as a matter of fact, called me up and says, hey, I want you to speak for our crew, and we're going to pay you. So I ended up getting this speaking gig, and I got paid like, $2,200 to speak for 40 minutes, which is pretty cool. So that was the great news that came that way. So again, I'm doing it. This was just a week and a half ago. So the assignment again was be thankful for the great news you're going to get today. So I say that. Now, based on what happened 2 years ago, my whole thought process was, what am I going to hear about me that I'm going to be grateful for today? So, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 9, 10, and you're looking, your radar's up and you're starting to look for things. What can I be really grateful for today that's the good news that's coming my way? So now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm driving down Hartford Road, and my phone rings, and it's my mother. Answer the phone and say, "Hey, Ma, what's going on?" And I swear to you, the first words out of her mouth was, "Hey, I'm calling you to tell you the great news I got today." And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? So I got this smile from ear to ear, right? I'm like, and in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what's she going to tell me for me? For me, right? That's what I'm thinking, right? So I said, well, what's going on? She goes, well, I just wanted you to know that your father and I got a letter in the mail yesterday that says we finally own our house. It's paid off, right? And I'm like, that's really good news. And I'm like, is that the news I'm supposed to get? Because it's not about me, That's what I was thinking, right? But then I'm processing this because the words out of her mouth were, I got great news to share with you, right? So when I go through this and I process this and I reflect on this, I start to think, going through this book is not just about being grateful so I can receive and I can get. And it's not just about me. It's really, there's another side of this, another perspective. Is like, how can you be grateful for others? How can you be grateful for the good happenings in their lives, right? And I'm like, wow, this kind of helps you see where you are on your journey. Is it all about you or is it about others? Can it be both? I can be grateful for things that come my way, and I do want things to come my way, but I want to be grateful for others too. So when you can genuinely be happy for others, from your heart, man, you've just gone to another level. So I ended the day, I'm like, because at the end of every day, you're supposed to you get a rock, right? And you hold the rock, and you're supposed to think about the day, what went through the day, and what was the greatest thing that happened to you that day that you could be grateful for. So I'm holding the rock, I'm like, this is a no-brainer. I didn't hold it for a second. My mom and dad tell me that they had paid their house off. Now think about this. My mom's 72, my father's 78. In 1967, they bought their first house for $10,000 on Dudley Avenue in the city, right? From there, they moved on to 3309 Longview Avenue. I think they paid like 23 grand for that house. Now, they never paid off the mortgage just going to the next house. And then from there, they moved to 3400 Chesterfield Avenue. They paid $33,000 for that house. Again, never paid it off, right? Then they moved to Perry Hall, 126 Bourbon Court, right? And here they are, it's 67 to what? To 2016, what's that, 39 years? And they finally reached the American dream of owning their house. That's pretty cool, And I couldn't be happier for them. When she told me, when I reflected on it, I was like, I got tears in my eyes. I'm like, man, how cool is that? Because we strive our lives, and I'm in the real estate business. You're in the real estate business. You're in the real estate business. You're in the real estate business. We put people on homes, and they want to own them, but they always owe somebody money for them. Now they own it. So I thought that was really cool. So remember I just talked to you about where you are on your journey, right? So it's always about, again, being grateful for the situations that come your way, being grateful for the service providers that we deal with every day, right? So how often have you called, something's going wrong with cable or your car or whatever, and you're calling somebody, and just let's use the computer, for instance. We call, and usually who do you get on the other line? You say it.
Customer service.
From where?
India, Ireland.
And is it hard to understand them?
Yeah, I have fun with them.
And by the end of the conversation, you're a little frustrated? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and then we start crying the victim language. Why me? Why can't you get this fixed for me, right? It happens. So this is, again, last week, this whole process is going. I'm going through this whole journey of this book, and what I'm getting is another perspective of where I'm at on this whole journey, right? So it's like 15, 17 degrees last Tuesday night or whatever it was. The wind was blowing, and I had a lockbox go bad. And somebody wanted to see one of my houses, so I had to, change the battery or go check it out. With the battery, it wasn't the battery; it was the motor in the lockbox. But I got to call the company that owns the lockbox to they got to go through this whole protocol to determine if it's defective. So I'm on the phone with the lady. I just got a light jacket on, and I'm freezing, and my fingers are starting to get cold. And I say to the lady, can you please hurry up? My fingers are ready to fall off, right? And I'm being patient, I'm being kind, And she's going on and on and on. And I'm like, ma'am, I said, I know you don't understand this, but it is cold out here and my fingers are falling off. I really need you to pick it up a little bit. And all the while I'm saying, Rob, be grateful for what she does. Be grateful for what she does. Be grateful for it, you know? And we're going along. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the protocol, she says, it's not the engine, it's the battery. And I said, ma'am, it is not the battery. I just started yelling at her, right? And I'm like, I know it's not the battery because we went through this thing and the engine is not, or the motor's not making a noise. If the motor was making a noise, then I know it's the battery. And I'm getting angry, right? I get back in my car and I'm like, you son of a gun. I said, hey, this lady is doing the best she can to do her job to serve me. And I'm yelling at her for no fault of her own because I'm being selfish. I'm being selfish because I don't want to freeze, I don't want my fingers to fall off. But I want her to get this done as soon as she can. So I'm thinking, okay, this whole gratitude thing, good things are supposed to come your way and all this, I'm thinking, money, abundance, and happiness. And I'm getting frustrated. Why? How can I be grateful for that? But what I got out of it was like, where am I really on my own journey? How much work do I have to do on myself? Because every time we're on the phone with a service provider and we're getting aggravated, it's not them, it's us. It's our impatience, it's our selfishness, it's our victim language. So I felt like I was crying victim, So it humbled me, and I felt guilty, but it humbled me to say, next time I'm on the phone with somebody in the service industry, be appreciative of what they do. Because they're getting paid to do it, and they're doing the best they can to help you. And the more grateful we are for what they do, things just happen, okay? So here's the last story. We all got through the blizzard this weekend, right? Okay, so Sunday's assignment was to be grateful for the magnificent outcome you're going to get today, right? Be grateful for the magnificent outcome. So Saturday was the main, the blizzard, right? My son and I, we go out and we snow blow and shovel snow. Every time it snows, I get him out there. I just want to teach him the value of hard work and making money and whatnot. So I'm like, Robbie, we're going to get 24, 30 inches of snow. We're going out Saturday, and we're going to knock out half the snow, and we're going to double back on Sunday so we don't have a whole load of 2.5 feet of snow. So I got a snow blower that's about 11 years old. And we go out, we're working. I got like 7, 8 people. I think it was 8 people to blow their snow. And we get to the last one, and the engine starts to putter out, and I'm like, I had to run the last one on choke. So it's not blowing the snow the way it should blow it. Didn't get aggravated. I'm like, we're almost done. We'll finish up. We'll go home. So that was Saturday. Sunday, I get up, and I'm supposed to be grateful for the magnificent outcome I'm going to get today. So I'm thinking, this snow blower better work. I'm like, if it doesn't work, him and I are shoveling a hell of a lot of snow because we already did half of it. We got to come back and finish. So my first thought was be grateful for the magnificent outcome I'm going to have my snow blower today. Okay? Be grateful for the magnificent outcome that I'm going to have today, right? So the key word is outcome, right? So go out in the garage, 8:30 Sunday morning, turn it on, cranks right up. I'm like, I cranked it past the choke. I'm like, this thing's firing. I'm ready to go. Let's go, Robbie. So we go out, we do the first one, and we're like 3/4 of the way through the first one, and the thing just shuts down. And I'm like, be grateful for the magnificent outcome I'm going to get today, right? I'm like, okay, don't get mad, figure it out. So I looked at the engine. I went home real quick and went online and checked out a few things, came back, hit a few buttons, bang, fires back up, right? I'm like, okay, we're on. So get the first one, get the second one, get the third one. Now we're on the 7th house, right? And dumb me, I let it run out of gas, right? So it runs out of gas, right? And I brought gas with me. I did bring gas with me. So we fill it back up, and it won't start. Now the plow's already been up this street, and when a plow goes by your driveway, what does it do? Blocks you back in, and the snow's like this high. So we just made a path through it, and meanwhile I got to dig out a whole apron. And I'm like, Robbie, this is our last one. I said, dig in because we got to shovel it out. We got to shovel it. So we start shoveling, and the neighbor across the street's doing their own driveway, and he goes, Rob, what are you guys doing? I said, the snowblower pooped out on me. He goes, you guys are going to kill yourself. Let me come over and I'll take care of it. So he comes over and takes his commercial grade snowblower, and he opens up the driveway for us. And I'm like, pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate that, right? Magnificent outcome, right? So I get to I have to push the snowblower down a hill and up a hill to get to my house. Through 2 feet of snow wasn't easy, okay? Because I can't run the motor and I can't self-propel. So I get to the house, I wait about an hour, and then I fire it back up, and it fires up, right? So it fires up, I do a little more of our driveway, then it shuts down again, right? So now I want to try to start it up. So I go and I pull the thing, right? And I pull it the second time. I pull it the third time. I pull it, and the string comes flying out, right?
I knew that.
And I mean, the handle comes off. No, the string comes flying out. I'm like, oh my God, I got one more to do, and I can't get this thing started. So there's a neighbor up the street, mechanical guy. I always go to him for mechanical questions or problems. He takes care of everything. So like Joe, I said, you see what happened? He goes, oh, we'll fix this. So we take the whole, the compartment, the whole, I guess, compartment or gadget off the front. He spends about 45 minutes and he fixes it, right? Put it back on, and I go to pull it. The first time I go pull it, and the handle snaps where the string is there. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's the string broke on the bottom end the first time. It breaks on the top end the second time. And I'm supposed to be grateful for the magnificent outcome we're going to get today, right? So meanwhile, it's all the neighbors. We're gathering, we're talking, and we're having a good time. And I'm not getting mad at all. It's not like me. Usually I lose my temper, and under my breath I'll say some words that I'm not allowed to say on camera. Anyway, but I'm like, I start laughing at this whole situation. So again, I take it to the guy up the street. He fixes it, start it up, we're back in business, right? So now we're waiting for the plow to come up our street. Plow finally comes up our street, blocks everybody's driveway in, and now it's time to start again. So fired up, we're going. Next thing you know, a bolt breaks on the bottom of the handle. So where I'm just pushing now, I'm going like this and trying to steer it, and I'm like, this is unbelievable, But at this point, all I could do was laugh. That's all I could do was laugh, right? So I'm maneuvering through. We're getting all the snow done. So we finally get it done, right? And now I'm pushing it up to the house. We're done, right? And as I push it into the garage, I go like this, and the gear lever snaps in half, right? And I'm like, unbelievable. What could go wrong did go wrong. So there's like 5 or 6 things I just told you about, right? So then I reflected on it. I didn't get mad at all. The community came together because they helped me knock out 2 other driveways we had to do, right? So it was 3 snow blowers, 3 or 4 guys shoveling snow, helping me and my son shovel driveways we're supposed to shovel. I connected with my neighbor again. He helped me fix the thing twice. Built a relationship there. Another couple neighbors come out that haven't talked in a while, and we're talking while we're trying to fix things and whatnot. And what was the outcome of the day? That my son and I, we got 6 or 7, it was 8 driveways cleared. He made some good money. Had a guy fix my snowblower 2 or 3 times. We built relationships. I'm deep in relationships with some other people in the neighborhood, and the community itself came together to help other people. And I'm like, you know what? When you think about it and you reflect on it, it was a magnificent outcome. So it's not about the journey of what happened, it's about what the outcome ended up being. So I'm like, when I'm going through this book, and I'm looking at you, Dan, because I know you know the book. When I'm going through this book, it just changes your perspective of things. And when you reflect on what's really going on for you and what you really can and should be grateful for, the things just start happening. And as mad as I could have got about that snowblower, all I could do was laugh. All I could do was laugh. And somebody asked me, Rob, you never lost your cool? I said, no, all I could do was laugh. All I could do was laugh about the whole situation. So at the end of the day, put your radar up or turn your radar on and realize and reflect everything that's going on in your lives, in your businesses, that you could be grateful for, that you might not even be thinking about right now. So when you hop out of bed, I'm thankful for the slippers I have, the socks I have to keep my feet warm, the carpet, the hardwood, the sink that turns on, the toilet that flushes, the toothpaste you have, the toothbrush you have, everything. You be thankful for everything. And then things just, and I've said it like 3 or 4 times already, things just start to happen. So the more grateful you can be, the better I think, and the more joyful and fulfilling our lives are going to be. So I'm grateful that you guys trekked out here in the snow today, came and visited us, and it's 8-9 years in, and we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep, as long as people keep showing up, we're going to keep doing this. And as long as you guys find value in it, I'd love for you to keep coming. Guys, be careful going home today. And thanks again to Mark and Tanya or Tasha, sorry, and Jeff for help sponsoring. And then you would go around, Dave, if you want, you can cut that off unless you want to keep taping them going around. But what time is it?